A long time ago, this would have been a mall full of crowds and stores. Now it's a distant memory of those times with only a handful of holdouts and alternative businesses. Welcome to the Village Square Mall, a dead mall of 70s utility out here in rural Illinois. Developed by Effingham local named Eugene Mayhood, Village Square Mall would start out in the 70s, hosting its grand opening on November 11th, 1971, with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. Reportedly, over 4,000 people were present for the ceremony as they crowded into the mall, which was anchored by G.C. Murphy, Eisner's, and Spurgeon's, which would come in a year later. And as the mall gained popularity, it would see an expansion in 1977 which would bring forward J.C. Penney, with plans for more expansion on the way. The mall would see many a store and event come and go in its halls. What was once Murphy's would become Rural King, Spurgeon's would turn over to Stage, and Eisner's would become Jubilee Foods. You might notice that all of these things, including the J.C. Penney, are gone. First thing I noticed skimming info about Effingham is that this place is not only tiny, especially for an interstate control city, but population just stagnated around 12,000 people. The mall was also not very well located as most shopping options in town either remained downtown or moved north near the interstates, and this mall is on the south end. And then, a slew of bad owners starting around the 2000s would be the next problem. I don't know when, but Elart Corp of New York would have owned the mall before posting it for auction in 1994, with Herzog and Sons presumably obtaining ownership of the mall before they too would put the mall up in 2008. Guess who bought it at that point? Come on, you can guess. If you said Kohan Retail, well, unfortunately you are correct, and the stereotype of bad maintenance and neglect from the owner would hit this mall hard. JCPenney closed their doors in 2017, not due to poor sales, but the condition of the building had apparently deteriorated significantly. Additionally, Stage was long gone, and even Glicks wouldn't last long. I was unable to find a specific date, but Rural King appears to have been closed around 2000 or 2001, so we can't pin that on the company. What we can pin, though, is that the building had deteriorated enough that the city ordered a demolition of that building, as well as shaking Kohan down for not running the heating or air conditioning in vacated tenant spaces. Eventually, Kohan would let go of the mall in 2020, and Durga Properties would become the new owners. The story isn't quite done, as Durga Properties made an attempt to make much-needed repairs, but ran into many obstacles between disputes with local contractors and complications from that thing I can't mention because YouTube. Things did pan out, however, with the mall, as a sale in 2023 called the Indoor Whatever Sale brought in multiple vendors and garage sale setups within the mall, and the crowd seemed to show that there was still a few sparks of life left to this place. And among the handful of businesses that were established here, there is still a cinema on the back end of the mall. And while much of the corridors are now mostly drywall, it's at least better than a sea of water damage and rot. Today, though, the mall is owned by Square Southtown Properties, whom would obtain the mall from yet another auction in 2024 for the low price of $1.275 million. And they have some plans. They intend to overhaul the mall and redevelop it into a place for small business owners to, quote, be the entrepreneurs they want to be, end quote. The big picture of redevelopment remains to be seen at this time, but I'll be surprised if it remains as an indoor mall. That said, maybe look at entertainment options, which might not be that easy to draw in considering this is just a stagnated small town, but also rural Illinois. For those of you that don't already live here, have you driven through rural Illinois? Well, the Guitar Hero machine is pretty neat, though I'd like it if the guy on it wasn't playing Black Sabbath's Paranoid 4 times in a row. It's a good song, but it's not 4 times in a row good. As for the mall itself, well, it's kinda interesting to see how little has actually changed in this mall, though all the walled over stores start to give this place more of a liminal spaces kind of vibe. More akin to something from the back rooms if you're into that sort of thing. Makes great horror, but not so great a shopping mall. Well, until next time, Effingham, this is Doomie Grunt wishing you and the Village Square Mall farewell and good luck in the future.